I'm Robert Kennedy, and I'm a friend of Joey's. We're neighbors upstate. We go skiing every year together in the United States and Canada. We go camping together. Every time I'm with Joey, I have enormous amounts of fun. But Joey is crazy, and that's something that he's never hidden from anybody. There's a consensus, I think, that he's nuts. And one of the great thing about this film is it's so infused with his humor. But one of the funniest things that I noted about the film was when Danny, his daughter, was talking about how he doesn't embarrass them in public anymore and that he doesn't cause scenes. And that's not my experience with Joey. Anyway, he cannot help but causing a scene if you look at his outfits. But the thing about Joey is that he's got the humor, but he also has the extraordinary honesty, the capacity he has for intimacy, the courage he has about what he's going through, and his deliberate and constant insistence that nobody ignore it. And this summer he visited me on Cape Cod, and while he was there, he was talking about his disease to my son, a 14-year-old son, Connor. And Connor and I were sitting the next day on the porch of my cousin Teddy Kennedy's house. And my cousin Teddy lost his leg when he was 11 years old. But he said, he was talking about Joey, and he said he hadn't spent a single day of his life being depressed. And my son Connor was asking about that. And we were talking about how this is the worst disease, because in every other disease, you could lose both arms and both legs, and you could still be happy. And you could have lung cancer, or you could have terminal illnesses, and you can still find happiness. But this is the one disease that really controls your mind and controls your moods and does not give you a choice. And, this battle that Joey has taken up is really the last great frontier of civil rights in our country. And he's the Martin Luther King of this movement, because he's the one person, he's up there harassing people on Capitol Hill about something that other people don't want to talk about, that other people are embarrassed about, that other people are ashamed about, whether it's in their families, but God forbid that you suffer it yourself. But he goes into these offices and he says, I have this disease and you cannot ignore me. And I'm not going to let you ignore me. And we've earned the right to housing, and we've earned the right to lives without prejudice, and we've earned the rights to medical care, and we've earned the rights to insurance. And above all, we've earned the rights to respect. And I'm not going to let you live. I'm not going to let you treat me or anybody else who has this disease with disrespect. And it's that extraordinary courage by this man who's friends to all of us, and the fact that he does it with such incredible good humor. And I met Joey because he's an activist. He's an activist on so many other issues, but on my issue, which is the environmental issue, where he's come for at least a decade. We've been friends, and he's come to all of my environmental events and graced them, and done so many important things, because he sees this all as part of a larger issue, that we're really fighting for an America that works, and he's constantly reminding us of what America's supposed to look like, that it's a place where we're supposed to build communities, and that we're not going to be judged so much based upon the wealth of our citizens or the size of our armies or the throw weight of our weapons or the power of our industries, but how we care for the least fortunate members in our society, how strongly and robustly we fight to include all the members of our community, no matter what their disability, and how strongly we avoid the seduction of the notion that we can advance ourselves as a people by leaving our poor brothers and sisters behind. We have to go forward as a community, and we have to include the people who are the most vulnerable, the most alienated, in the most pain and agony, and that, our response to that in the past has just been to add on cruelty, and that, Joey's up there saying we can't live that way anymore, that it's bad not only for the people who suffer this disease, but it's bad for all of us to live in a society that condones that. So we all owe Joey a huge debt of gratitude, and I want to thank him for doing this film so that he doesn't have to go around the country talking about this, that we can show it to a lot of people and that they can begin to understand this disease the way that my son Connor did this summer after spending 2 days with Joey. That every 14-year-old kid ought to be able to see this film and understand, what it is that we're supposed to look like as a nation.